5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
It is Wednesday night for us, Thursday morning for you guys, which means we had Bible study a little while ago.
Yep.
And
I know it's a late Wednesday for us, like always.
it is. Let me look on my Ross watch. No, wait, where did I get this? JCPenney? Ross?
No, I think that one was, probably Ross or Burlington.
It's 12. Look at that. It says you need an expensive watch to look bomb. Okay, so
Bomb Dizzo.
it's 12:04 midnight. So actually, it's Thursday
It's
morning.
Thursday, so good morning, guys.
So guys, we had an amazing Bible study. At least I think it was amazing.
It was amazing.
We finished 1 Timothy. It took us 6 weeks to get through 1 Timothy, which it's a very short book, guys. And I hope I always I try to keep a good pace because honestly, you could literally study any book for a year.
Yeah.
So I try to keep a pace where it's slow enough so we get from it. But in all honesty, 6 weeks ain't enough. Like really, you could really dive. And I mean, when you get into the Greek, you get into some definitions, it could go deep where you're just stuck there. So I try to go slow enough, but at the same time, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because I understand, that. I mean, we're not in a classroom. We're not in Bible college. We're not, so I think it's a good pace.
Yeah, it was really, really good. We had a good amount of people, a lot of new people commenting, which is really, really nice because we get a chance to get to know you. I just continue to love the way our family interacts with a lot of the new people. So thank you all for doing that because you make everybody feel welcomed. And I think that's so, so important. I was really, really blessed to get to know Howard Main. That's the first time I've seen him on there, but I know that he's been watching us.
Yeah.
And I know that you tuned in from the hospital, Howard, and that's a really big deal. And Sister Maria Winter, and I know that Anthony's finally home, thank God,
Yeah.
And, we praise
Yeah,
God.
I wasn't expecting to see him on.
Yeah, I was really, really blessed that you were commenting on there, brother. It was a blessing to see you commenting, and then I know Sister Deanna also, I know that she watches and she's in the hospital as well. But it's always a blessing. And, what's even more a blessing when you have non-believers who are seeking and who are wanting salvation and who are seeking to receive the Lord and saying, what, I'm surrendering. And they're actually not saying, well, I just want salvation, but I actually want to surrender my life to God. And the reason why it's because they're actually knowing the difference between what just, accepting the Lord into my life than surrendering to God. And I think it's because a lot of what they've learned on here, which is amazing because there's a difference, you know? Yeah. And I think that's pretty cool.
I just, I really appreciate all the new people that are watching. Let me say this, though. Shout out to all the Blue Ranchers.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I know a few weeks back, you guys kind of went crazy and did it a little too much. But today was a good example because there was a couple knuckleheads in there. I was able to see, because I have my phone now. So as I'm studying, I kind of I can't really dive in and read everything, but I saw a couple knuckleheads, and I just want to give you guys props, you Blue Ranchers. So
you guys are doing really, really great.
Yeah, you guys do amazing.
Awesome.
And that way we keep foolery out of the.
Yeah,
and that way
use good discernment.
Yeah, that way you guys can delete the foolery, and that way it continues to be a family-oriented Bible study.
Absolutely.
And so thank you guys too, and yeah.
And I think it's great because there's some that are really not really, really bad. It's non-intentional to be bad, but they're just kind of really, truly seeking.
Yeah, some are very intentional.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you guys are making the right decisions on letting things go because, it's non-intentional and they really, truly are seeking answers and they're We got to understand that some people that are still, seeking, we're still kind of partially blind, and we were there once too, guys. We were, and we understand, and we got to be that light, and we got to be that example, and kind of be like, hey, come on in and give some grace.
Yeah.
So thank you for being vigilant, and for just being such amazing people to have that good discernment for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen. Huh? Amen. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Yeah. So next Wednesday we'll be starting on 2 Timothy, which is one of my. What's that cat doing?
I don't know. She's probably trying to catch a little.
No, but I'm hoping she ain't messing with something that belongs to my microphone.
Uh-oh. It looks like it is.
Yep.
Give me.
Cat wants to get beat up. No, I'm going to lose that. Put it in here. It belongs in here.
Okay. I'm going to put it.
It's the little foam thing that belongs on these.
You're in trouble, kitty.
See that little? It's one of these little foam things. So.
No.
Yeah.
Bad kitty.
We were just laughing right now because we've done 500 of these devotionals, and when we started, I had a little tripod. Remember? It was all rickety.
It was a little very cheapy.
Very fragile.
And it was like very, very fragile. Like, remember you guys that would kick it all the time and it would shake everything,
Yeah.
and we would call it earthquake all the time?
Yeah, so it was like a $15 tripod that held the phone, and it would hold it all crooked, and so we always struggled with it. And we would just prop the phone and do our devotionals. We turn every light on we had in the living room because our living room's kind of dark. And then we would do these at night. It'd be really dark, so we'd turn on this
my
lamp.
lamps are very, very light.
Yeah, we turn all these lamps on, and no, remember then we had those other. Then I got those weird lights that blew out the whole room.
The ones that I use for photography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because I was setting up, and over time, like we have some cool little lights here, and then a better tripod, and then we have these little cordless little lavaliers, and they're. I mean, I know you see the cord, but it actually goes into this. Check it out. See, it goes into this transmitter, and this transmits it to the phone.
I remember we went from a little $10 one to a $15 one to a $20 one, and now we're all cool with our. What is this? $25 now? What is this one now?
Oh, a lot more than that. Yeah, these are cordless. Well, these are the ones that I got actually for the upcoming movie I'm going to be filming.
Oh.
So I kind of had to go all out because sometimes the actors need to wear lavaliers, and what you don't want is, imagine if the actor is, so let's say they're in the car, and I'm 30 feet away. I'm not going to have 30 feet of cable. So it's actually, this thing would actually go inside their shirt and clip to their belt or something.
Got it.
And this thing picks up to 100 feet away. And then it feeds into this right here. This is look at that.
You're so smart, babe.
Look, I'm talking, talk. See? So, and then this plugs into the phone, but obviously in a film, this would plug into the audio recorder.
I get so lost with all this stuff, guys.
So it's a little overkill for the devotionals, but I'm like, why am I going to leave them in a box until I film a movie? Might as well use them for the devotionals. That way you get one and I get one.
All right.
Bam. So anyways, guys, I know that was a little technical talk there. But
he's a very technical person, guys. I'm administrative. Give me something business to do, or administrative, or creative to do, and decorate.
Yeah.
Music-wise or something.
Just really, we're ramping up to just for films. Hopefully, many films, if the Lord, gives me license to do them, and yeah. So, anyways, today I'm not sure what I want to talk about. I have some things in mind, and
I do want to give a quick. I do want to give a quick shout out to is it Cholo Trucker?
Yeah.
I feel weird calling him Cholo Trucker.
I don't know if he says his name though in public.
Yeah.
So,
but I do want to give a shout out to him now because I really really loved. He did an interview with Joe.
yeah, Big Joe.
With Big Joe, and he's from LA Times. Is that what? Yeah, from LA Times. And guys, he did an interview with Big Joe from LA Times in regards to MS, multiple sclerosis, and it was so informative,
Yeah.
and he did a superb, both of them. It was just really really good, and I applaud him for that because there isn't many of those type of channels that kind of just give you different diversified type of information.
Yeah.
And I really really liked it because there's some that just give prison information or just gang information or just they kind of give stuff like that, but I really love the fact that he changes things up.
He refuses to be put in a box.
Yeah.
And all I got to do, I can respect that.
Yeah, and I really 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 enjoyed that. And man, for me, because I, many years back, I was on so much medication for, systemic lupus, for SLE, erythematosus. It's like, and then for all the stuff that I've gone through, I can appreciate someone who brings any type of awareness for any type of, for anything.
Autoimmune disease or things like that.
Anything having to do with any type of autoimmune disease, because I really think that people need to know and learn more about their bodies, and bring a lot more of that out there. I know a lot of people talk about cancer and breast cancer and a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff is not ever spoken about, autoimmune diseases, Chiari malformation, a lot of things are not talked about, pseudotumor, trigeminal neuralgia, and anything having to do with anything that's neurological. Yeah, neurological or autoimmune diseases. And for me, for the fact that he actually spoke about, the multiple sclerosis, that was huge. And, kudos to him. And guys, he did do that interview, and I was really, really impressed by it.
Yeah, we were listening to that on the way to Modesto to Bible study.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to. I hope you guys are subscribed to his channel because his material, or what do they call it? What do they call for YouTube? Not material.
I don't know, but I just
whatever they call it. It's really really good.
His channel.
His channel's good. Cholo Trucker.
Stuff. Yeah.
He's basically a trucker. And he has a lot of time to think. So I think he thinks of different subjects. And I think right there on his mount for his phone, he just hits record and just starts to talk.
Yeah.
And very articulate, very smart man. Somebody that we both respect very, very much. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him in September.
I just love him and his wife's humility, and they're just very humble people and stuff,
Yeah.
I do just really love their humility, and they're just good people.
Yeah.
They're good people.
We're looking forward to hanging out with them in September. They're coming up north for he's a LA Dodger fan. Huge LA Dodger fan.
Yeah.
So I know he's gonna come up. I know his team is gonna be up over here playing in San Francisco. So looking forward to hanging out with both of them.
Yeah.
Show them around the city.
That'd be nice.
What was I going to say? Oh, I know what I was going to say. Is, guys, we need to have discernment when we're bringing somebody to the Lord. That's what I want to talk about. Okay. We have to understand that not everyone is... Did you have a scripture?
No.
Oh, that not everyone...
It just opened up to that.
Is the same. And here's the thing, and I've said this many times, but maybe some of you haven't heard this, is that we all come with filters. We all have filters because of our family life, because of trauma, because of what we went through at school, good or bad. We all have filters, and unfortunately, if we don't know that, for instance, if I'm gonna make it in the simplest way possible. Remember those glasses at the flea market? There's red lenses, yellow lenses, blue lenses, all the colors, right? So imagine, you growing up, and as a child, your parents put red sunglasses on you, okay? And you grow up that way. And let's say your neighbor, they put blue lenses on their kid. And then the next door, the other one is a green glasses, and the other one's yellow, okay? So, and let's say sporadically, right? So what happens is you see things through a red lens. Everything, the sky looks red. The TV always has a red tint to it. White walls are really reddish walls to you. So what happens is, because of that, let's say now you come to Christ. So Christ takes off the lenses and you see things as they truly are. But unfortunately, some of us fail to forget that not everybody had the same lenses.
Yeah.
So what happens is when we see someone else, and because they don't react the way you react, because they are not maybe coming to the Lord the exact same way you came to the Lord, what we do is, unfortunately, we judge them or we write them off.
Yeah.
And that is very dangerous to do, because you don't know what lenses they have on, what lenses you came into the thing. So we have to be very, very careful with that. I want to say another example before.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Let's say somebody grew up and maybe they lost their grandma young, but their grandma had the most beautiful voice and she would sing. Okay. She would sing and sing and sing. So later on, they become adults and they live a life of sin, and, they just live crazy. All right. So all of a sudden they happen to be walking down the neighborhood and they hear a church service. And in that church service, somebody is just singing their heart out to God.
Yeah.
And this person stops in their tracks and they're like, that sounds like my grandma. And they get closer and closer as they walk into the church. And by the time they hit the front, the sanctuary, boom, tears. Because they haven't heard a voice that beautiful since grandma. So then they come and they sit there. And you know what? When the worship ends, they get bored and they leave when the pastor steps up. Okay, so check that person. Another person, let's say them. They grew up maybe in their, same way. And this, I'm using myself as an example. Every Sunday, my parents would put on this television preacher on TV. And I would see my mom and my dad weep. And I would see them, and there's something about the way this preacher would preach that would move, and it would even catch my attention and my brothers, and none of us were saved. My mom and dad were, but man, the way the preacher preached was so passionate yet biblical. And so it put an impression in my mind, of just the way he would, my gosh, he would say a story about David and Goliath, and I felt like I was there. And the way he would preach, I don't care if it was Elijah or Elisha or David or Moses or Solomon or Samson or Absalom or, it was just like, boom, I was there. And I was like, I would be captivated. I'd be like 8 years old, captivated. The worship though, not so much. You see what I'm getting at? So the person that didn't want to hear the sermons, but every Sunday they remember, man, I got to go there because I want to hear somebody worship like my grandma did. Mm-hmm. So imagine I go there. So I'm walking by. I don't really want to get to worship, but I get there late on purpose. But that preacher, preaches the way I remember hearing preachers. And it just stirs me up. It does something to me. It makes my spirit leap. But I get there late on purpose because I don't really want to hear the worship. You see what I'm getting at? Mm-hmm. So to the Lord, he's like, I will reach that one with a worship. I will reach that one with the sermons. I will reach that one through a Bible study. I will reach that one through prayer because they don't like the sermons, they don't like the worship, but my God, they remember grandma, grandpa, whatever, praying. I mean, praying with the Spirit, like it literally felt like an earthquake was going to hit that house. The anointing was so powerful with the prayer. And see, here's the thing. We think because we were reached this way,
that everybody has to be reached.
Everybody should reached that way, guys.
Yeah.
Please understand, you have filters. I have filters. You have filters. We all got filters. Everybody gets filters.
And they're not all the same.
Now, there's, unfortunately, it's hard to get rid of those filters.
There is one thing that is the same, though. God's grace.
Yeah. But I think that it's not so much to take the filters away because it shapes who we are.
Yeah.
But to understand they're there. I think that's more important.
Yeah.
To understand they're there. That is why Paul says, to the Greek, I'll be a Greek. To the Roman, I'll be a Roman. To the Jew, I'll be a Jew. And I think in the same way, if there's somebody that I can see, I can reach intellectually, boom, I will reach them that way because I say, Lord, help me to reach them intellectually. If it's by a moving story, whatever, God, give me the words to move them by that. If it's through worship, I can't sing, but my wife can. Let my wife worship and the anointing pour. So whatever, we use the tools we have.
Yeah.
And I know doing a lot of the talking, we didn't know what we were going to talk about. We were just,
but that's good. That's good.
But I did want to share that we need to have grace that maybe, just maybe, God knows what he's doing. How about that?
So did this come about because I know that yesterday you did a...
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did I know you did an interview yesterday with Tony A, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that there was a few comments or a few people that were just a little bit hard on.
Yeah, and I don't want to come back hard on them because I'm like, you know what? I don't think they realize or haven't really fully thought out that first of all, God knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
And the filters. We got to understand that different people are reached different ways. Now,
I'll say this, guys. I'll say that, I saw the whole interview or the whole discussion and everything, and man, I was like, Lord, you're going to do something powerful with this man. And because I seen this discussion, because I seen what was taking place, I knew that the enemy was going to come back with something even stronger. I was like, man, I knew it.
Try to.
Yeah, was definitely going to try to. And, and I'm sure that there's people that definitely follow him and everything. And then at the end of the day, probably saw his channel or whatever. And, they go to see, the things that take place, on his channel and everything. And, of course we get a little disappointed or whatever. And we're just kind of like, man, but he just gave a great interview. But he just, he just talked about the Lord and all of that. But that's where we got to come in, guys. And we just got to be like, you know what, Lord, but you have the last say. And that's where we got to just pray, because we know that God is going to do something, and we got to know that God's word never comes back void, guys. His promises never come back void. So we got to stand in the gap. We got to be the ones to step up in prayer and everything, and stand, and intercede for him. Yeah. We have to be the ones to do that.
And not just him. He ain't nobody special. He's just
for
the same as
anybody.
anybody.
Absolutely.
You know, and all of us, everybody. There's people we're talking to.
But I'm saying in this situation, because I know that this was a situation that kind of brought up this topic.
Exactly.
Because of this topic, this is why I'm saying, you know, but it just goes in general, period. Whenever we go through situations like that, instead of, you know, not giving grace, instead of complaining, or instead of saying anything, you know what, turn around and, you know what, give that enemy a big old blow, you know, where he needs it, and just say a prayer for that person, you know, bop him one, a good one, and you know what, and do it by praying for that person and loving them even more and interceding for them. That's the way you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, you know, it's you're right. You know what I mean? He did an amazing interview, and then he did his show, and he did this late night thing, and I'm just like, what is this, brother? You know, what are you doing? What are you doing? You just gave an amazing, I mean, my God, the way you broke down scripture and things like that, you know, and I'm just like, and then I thought this, right? I remember when I first told my parents to come pray for me right before the indictment. I had no idea there was going to be an indictment. I was just sick and tired of my life. I called my parents. My brother came over. They prayed for me. I said I was going to quit rapping. I was going to quit selling drugs. Everything, right? I'm going to go be a regular citizen, get a regular job. And I did. Next day I went looking for work. I was at my peak of my rap career. And I'm just like, I'm just going to go look for work. I had no skills. I had no nothing, right? But I tried, you know, and I would talk about God. I went to church every Sunday. I was trying to do it, obviously. I always tell people, you can't change yourself. And I thought at that time I could change myself. I was really just doing behavior modification. I'll go to church and I'll quit selling dope and I'll quit. Here's the thing, it's a heart issue. I wasn't telling God to live in my heart, but I tried, you know, in my own understanding, I tried to do better. I would have conversations about God with my cousin Carlos and this and that. But, oh man, as soon as my homeboys got around, the conversation changed. A lot worse than what Tony A was talking about. Really bad. And then the next day I'd be talking about God. So imagine then if you're going to judge Tony A on that, well, might as well do it to me too.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a camera around.
Yeah.
But it was a lot worse. I'll tell you that, because at least he's a family man. Man, I was off the hook. You know? So who am I to throw the first stone?
That's right.
I can't.
That's right.
But you know what happened? Is that God stepped in the picture. I mean,
it was in his timing there.
Yeah, the Apostle Paul. He was killing Christians.
Yeah.
But God had mercy. God says, you know what? You're a stubborn man. I'm going to use you for my glory, for my kingdom. You know, when I see Tony A, I see a very stubborn man, just like I was. And that's exactly the type of person God is looking for.
But the thing is that I think sometimes we try to interfere.
Yes.
We try to do things when we want them done, or when somebody else wants it done. But here's the thing, guys, is that it has to be the Lord's timing, not our timing. It's almost like when we have a fruit, or when we have a vegetable that you want to cook with. If I try to cook with something that's not ripe and ready, it's going to make the food bitter, you know. And if it's not the perfect timing, and if it's not ripe enough, you know, what's the purpose of cooking with it if it's going to make everything bitter? It's going to make, you know, your stomach sick and everything. It has to be ripe enough and perfect enough for you to be able to enjoy it and be able to digest it right and everything. If it has to be God's timing, he has to be able to make the change, you know, in his timing. And I think that we put our foot in sometimes a little bit too soon, you know, and we make the mistake of doing that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you want to do that for your mom. You want to do that for your kids. Sometimes we want to be the ones to rush our kids, and we want to be the ones like, you know, when are you going to go to church? You know, when are you going to get up and go to church? When are you going to do this? You know, you got to go to church. We constantly want to hound our kids. We constantly want to hound the people around us. We constantly want to tell our brothers and our sisters. We constantly want to tell our significant others. We constantly want to do that. Bicker, 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 constantly. But you know what? You can't do that. Like, seriously, don't do that. Mm-hmm. You know, that really is like shoving something down somebody's throat. Like, don't do that. If anything, you know what? Go behind a closed door and instead go pray for them. Like, pray and say, Lord, you know what? I'm placing them in your hand, Lord. I'm asking, Lord, that you change their heart, that you soften their heart, Lord. Open up the door for you to bring restoration in their heart. Do something, Lord. I'm asking that because you know what? He will do it. And you don't have to be loud about it or anything. Sometimes you can pray in silence and it happens.
Yeah.
He hears your heart. He hears the supplication of your heart. You know how many times I pray in silence and in my heart and he hears my spirit. He hears it. He hears the supplication of a mother. Man, he hears that. And trust me, he will do it.
Yeah. You know, same thing with, I remember hearing T.D. Jakes say this before. Is he said that he used to be a traveling evangelist, right? And everywhere he would go, he's like, Lord, send me where I need to go. And he would travel and travel with his wife and a rickety car, he said. I can't remember if he said a station wagon or something. Sometimes he didn't even have gas. Sometimes he'd preach and they would pick up an offering and it wasn't even enough to get a hotel or nothing. And he's like, he just keeps it moving. And finally, after a few years of this, of just dragging his wife and kids along, Sarita Jakes, you know, he got angry. He's like, Lord, seriously? Why do you keep sending me to these churches that are just a mess? They have no structure. Their pastors are going all over the place, doing this, doing that. Their leadership is all over the place. You know, and he was mad. He's like, God, seriously?
Oh, because he's going to teach them structure.
And the Lord told him. Lord said, "What exactly why I'm sending you?"
Exactly.
So, you know, I had a brother say today, he'll chime in once in a while, I think on Facebook. He said, basically telling me, brother, you shouldn't intertwine with these prison channels. And I said, who said I was intertwining? God called me to be a light. And if somebody's inside the cave that needs to be brought out, somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
Don't get it twisted. I ain't intertwining with nothing. I serve God. I serve Jesus. And if I was not confident in that, I wouldn't even dare step into the cave.
And you know what? And if my husband steps into the cave, I'm going right there with him.
You know, so it's like I'm not intertwining with nothing, man. I know who I am. I know who I am in Christ. You know what I mean? And I know what he did for me. Amen. And that ain't going to change. That ain't going to budge. You know, the only way you'll stop that from me is if you cut my head off. That's the only way it's going to happen. And you know what? All you did was cut my head off.
And my head too, baby.
What does Jesus say? He goes, don't fear him who can destroy the body, but him who can destroy the body and the soul.
We're going to be two headless people together, babe.
You know? So it's like, I ain't intertwining with nobody. I'm not entertaining nothing. I am there to be strategic and to win people for Jesus, regardless of who it is, regardless of what. And how do I do that? Not by manipulation, but by being Christ to them, being the love of Christ to them. And if Jesus was gracious enough to show mercy to this horrible sinner before, then who am I to withhold mercy from anybody else?
Amen.
And it's like if Jesus reached down from heaven to be born as a human, do you understand how filthy that is? To be in heaven and to come down to be a filthy human. Do you realize how much he had to come down? So what makes you think that as Christians, we're too good to go and be a light to the darkness?
You know, I kind of find it, it's ironic, and I kind of find it a little weird and funny that people think that they think that we go places where we don't want to go, but we go because we know the Lord is telling us to go. And you really think that we want to go, but the thing is that if the Lord tells us to go, we go. And I go because if my husband goes, I go. You think as a wife, you think seriously as a wife, it doesn't cross my mind at times. And I'm like, Lord, is this where you're really calling us to go? Because I know that there's places that, that he has sent us before where I know that my husband's life can be a danger. You guys don't think that? Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? If the Lord says go, we're going to go. And you know what? We don't take a whole entourage because we don't need one. The only person we need to go with us is Jesus.
Yeah.
It's us and Jesus, and that's it. And you know what? And that's it. We go. We go where he calls us to go. And you know what? And we're one. And I'm there with him, guys.
Yeah. So, think about this, right? In order to reach presidents, it takes a certain type of person. I can't reach the president. God puts people that will have a circle of influence, hopefully for the president, or for people in high positions, or for people, And for whatever reason, God has put me in a circle of influence with some of these guys. So, am I going to be a Jonah and say, no, I'll go the opposite way?
I'll spit you out of the belly of that fish, babe.
You tell me. What am I supposed to do? How do I know? You know how I know? Because they call me.
Yeah.
They call me. Today, Tony A called. He's like, brother, I rewatched that interview. My wife watched it. And man, that was really fun, man. I really like talking about the Bible with you. Can we do it again? You telling me God ain't at work? Huh? And then we head to Modesto, and my phone rings, and it's Cholo Trucker.
Yeah.
Yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday. Mm-hmm. And
he's asking your opinion on something.
He goes, man, can I get your opinion on something? Come on. God puts people in front of me, and when he does, I already know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And whether it takes years or months or weeks, you know what? It took me 32 years to get saved. You know how many sermons I've heard in my life being raised in a Christian church? You know how many times people in the family laid hands on me to pray for me? Do you know how many times prophetic word was given to me from family and people in the church? You know how many times I sat in a worship service? Do you know how many times I saw demons casted out? Do you know how many times I saw people get the baptism of the Holy Spirit right then and right in front of me? Over and over and over and over. Yet it took me 32 years to finally surrender my life to the Lord. And if the Lord had that much patience for this guy, then I will continue to talk to whoever I have influence with. Yeah. Because that is the Great Commission. I don't even know what this subject's about, guys, but I'm just praying that this spoke to you.
Amen.
Please understand other people have different filters.
Yeah.
And God will reach any which way he can reach them.
In his timing.
Yeah.
In his timing, guys. It ain't about our timing.
Don't
push it.
Yeah. And it's crazy, right? Because a lot of you have been seeing me preach for a long time now, months. And all of a sudden, I'm around somebody and you think I'm going to just crumble? Come on, man. You should know me better than that.
Yeah.
I don't fear men, man. I fear God. I fear God, and not only do I fear God, I love God with everything, man. Yep. With everything. You know, so we just got to be graceful to people, graceful with others. If somebody is doing wrong and they're in Christ, you know, you talk to them. You know, some aren't even Christians, and we want to judge them already. Didn't Jesus say that he didn't come to condemn the world, but to save it? Yeah. Didn't Jesus say that it's the blind leading the blind? So how do you blame the blind for not being able to see? Yeah. You know, we have to be really careful, you know. When somebody does come with a repentant heart, man, we have to embrace them. Yeah. I mean, Jesus was denied 3 times.
Yeah, especially when they don't know.
Yeah, and even if they are believers and mess up.
But a lot of the times some don't even have a repentant heart because they don't even know what a repentant heart is. You know, they may not even know what that is, but that's okay. Yeah. We still got to love them and lead them. Yeah. Yeah, we got to lead the way for them, guys. I mean, and how do we do that? By being the example. You know, a lot of the times they ain't listening. They ain't going to listen either. Yeah. But you know what they are doing? They are watching. They're watching you. And that gives you a better reason why to be the example. Because they're watching you. Yeah. They ain't going to listen, but they're going to watch you. They're going to observe you.
You know, I had this Marine friend, Brother Oscar. Yeah. And he told me something. He said that he was in the Iraq war, and he says because they sweat so much, you gather salt. He says your camouflage has literally salt. Your hat has salt because it sweats so much.
Yeah, that's why they get so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And he says that they tell like when they see somebody that hasn't been in war, you know, they'll be like, oh, he ain't salty. And then when they see somebody that's fought, he's like, oh man, that brother's salty. So they know, basically they're saying that dude's been through some stuff. Wow. Now I say that to say this, is that sometimes, you know, I know there's a specific couple in my heart right now. It's crazy because they went through something and they bounce back and I see them. And matter of fact, the other day I text him, the husband. I'm like, brother, I just want you to know I love you. You know, and they have to understand too, because it's not just one way. What I'm saying is that sometimes you mess up or kind of things go wrong, and then you fix it. But even though you fix it and people tell you it's all good, you feel like it's not good still, and that's a sad thing too. You know, because what's crazy about it is this couple don't even know that they're only trust a handful of people, and those 2 are in that handful. Yeah. Why? Because they're salty. Because they've been through some battles and they survived it. Yes. That's why I'm saying that salty thing. So sometimes people see themselves, because they stumble, they see themselves as a failure. But here's the thing, you don't fail because you don't fail because you fell. You fail because you refuse to get back up. Yeah. And when you come back from battle, maybe you look a little disheveled, but you're salty. And that's who the other soldiers trust. Yeah. Is another salty person. Yeah. So, all right, guys.
Whew, that's good. Yeah, guys. We love you guys. Enjoy your coffee this morning, because it really is literally this morning. How long did we speak for?
Let's look at my Ross watch. Wait. No, I don't think it was Ross. I think...
Honey, we just spoke for like 47 minutes.
That's
the JCPenney one.
Is it? 12:40.
Yeah, that's the one we got at JCPenney. That was your $20.
It was $25. $24.99 is on sale.
Well, that was your $25 one. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I like this.
That's the one you got for the wedding.
I like this watch better than the one I used to wear at Sir Dyno. And that was like $1,000 or $1,200 watch I had back then, and I like this one better.
Wow. What happened to that one?
I don't know.
Wow. Well, guys, enjoy your day. God bless you guys. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.